This is the Bar Stewards Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
Hello, and a big warm welcome to the Bar Stewards Enquiry. It's the weekend podcast time. Yes, the last racing day before the festivities begin. And Boxing Day show for regular listeners will take place on Christmas Eve, and it'll be ready about 3:30. But for this show, we've dug two out of John's basement for this one. Yeah, this is going to be a corker. Joining me and John on this show are Cathryn and Adam Norman. Welcome, chaps.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yes. Good evening, Norms. We are recording this show early, of course.
It's a pity the non-Patreon subscribers can't see Fry. She's turned up here in the Christmas spirit dressed as a sex elf.
Yeah.
Indeed. Put that image in your...
£7 a month, boys. Honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's begin this show. Of course, we've got an Apple Clean podcast rating, and we'd like to keep it that way.
Good luck with that project.
It might descend into chaos later. I'm amazed no one's reported us. Get reporting us. On to the best bets round. This is where we're covering the best bets over the Saturday. Obviously no racing on the Sunday this time. So John can't back out and go to the Irish gaffs for some back-end Sunday action. John, of which yours last week, by the way, was dreadfully unlucky. Whiskey
That
well.
was a great watch, wasn't it? You know,
Yeah.
Swinging.
Yeah, swinging on the bridle and coming down 2 out, and just what you want to see. So, right, best bets round time. This is where for new listeners, we go 1, 2, and 3 points for all our selections, and hopefully we will make profit over the Saturday with those selections. So, Cathryn Fry, kick us off, please, with your 1 pointer.
My 1 pointer is in the 3 o'clock at Ascot, and it's the mount of the wonderful Cornerstone Walsh for Gavin Cromwell, and that's Hascore Claremont. Gavin's got 2 in there. He's got Yeah Man, which I backed the last time when Jonathan Burt put him on the floor. I can't cope with that again. Hascore Claremont, I thought won really well in the amateur chase at Cheltenham November. There's obviously a little bit more to come, I'd say. The fact is seems to be very keen on bringing young Connor over. Claims to 5. Basically, feel like he's running loose, and I just think it looks a bit of value in that tomorrow. It's tomorrow, isn't it? You're at that stage where you don't know what day it is.
I know what you mean. I thought it was like 23rd today for some reason, but yeah, I'm all over the place myself. But so yeah, that's 7-1 generally available. But for purposes of this show, everybody's going to be on Betfair SP, which I know is grossly unfair on us, but we're having to record a little bit earlier than normal. But 7-1 at the time of recording.
That'll do, yeah.
Cathryn, the excellent Cornerstone Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
I presume that he's just ditched the flat because he just can't do. I reckon he must have weight issues on the flat. That must be the reason.
I seem to recall a couple of weeks ago watching an interview with him, and I'm pretty sure they said it was also something to do with the way he had started off wanting to ride over jumps anyway. But yeah, I mean, I think he's excellent value for the get a cliche in, he's excellent value for his £5.
You'll get on ITV soon if you carry on like that.
Thanks, I thought that Hascore Claremont, the way he jumped Cheltenham the last day was great. Finished there, obviously, it was like 22-1 or something ridiculous like that in the amateur chase. But yeah, that's my 1 pointer. I think I'm quite keen on that one. But yeah, I'll put him into a place. I like Yeah Man, but at the moment I've got a bit of a problem. For some reason, I don't think Jonathan. I'm not saying he's a bad jockey because he's not, but he's not riding with a lot of confidence at the moment. And like the horse last Saturday at Cheltenham, NXL Dio. I mean, the jumping he could have won that, but his jumping just went spot. I didn't feel he was getting much assistance from the pilot, and he did put Yeah Man on the floor the last day. So Yeah, I'm not too. And then he's gone up. He's gone up £2 for putting him on the floor. And if you look at Haskell Claremont, like he's on 10-12, and obviously Connor takes the 5 off. But
to negate the rise in the weights for the last win,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, I see your point. So that's you done there at sevens. And of course, like I said, we are recording at Betfair SP for profit in the old tipster table. Adam Norman, continue the 1 point round, please.
Okay, my 3 are at Haydock. The first is going to be an SP bet, unfortunately. It's in the last race of 3:15. It is nice and easy. This is a crappy little race. I love crappy races. 3 of the 7 have completely gone. Storm Nelson's gone. Scandyberg's gone. Bushy Park's gone. Our Sam is, so that leaves 4 who all won last time out, but 3 of them are 10. Ballymagraughty Boy is all right, just a slugger. Similar, J'ai Foi won over 2 miles last time. Landed quite a touch there actually. Don't really know what that's got left over 3 miles. I do like this nice and easy. He was always a hurdling type. I never liked him as a chaser. He's quite small. They managed to get a couple of wins out of him, and he was actually a sort of a 120 type. Regressed last year, but bounced back last time with a tongue tie. He's a thorough stay who loves heavy ground. Shawnee's on, which is fantastic. I'm looking at hopefully something around 5-1, but that might be sort of Neville Ender territory. I don't know. But yeah, that's my theory anyway. So hopefully it's not something like 9-4, But that's the bet, nice and easy.
Good stuff. You love the Sean, don't you? You think pound for pound, is he the best jockey mainly riding in the north at the moment?
I think he's streets ahead. Yes, absolutely. I mean,
Henry
Brook is second best. The rest the rest are just playing for places really. Sean is the thing about Shawnee, you can just trust him to be in the right place at the right time. He's very strong in the finish. He's very hungry. He's probably starving to get down to 10-3 tomorrow. You give the impression he's on the edge permanently, and while he's hungry for winners and that sort of thing, you want to keep him on side definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. How dare you offend the punters listening to this who are in the Brian Hughes church?
Well, yeah. Well,
worship at the altar of Brian Hughes.
We've commented on the show what we think about Brian. He's not as good as what the market thinks he is, has been proven over time.
Yeah.
So good luck to Adam's first selection. I knew he'd tip a Sean Quinlan one. He had to tip at least one Sean Quinlan runner. Before we come to Jonas, kick us off with mine. 205 Haddock. Obviously, Jaguar has been rerouted to this. It was due to run Ascot today, but they've obviously chosen Kevin Brogan, and obviously I do fear that. But for a bit of value, I'm just going to go with the Goobinator of the McCain yard. The reason being, it's just prices. Look, everyone's like lining up to back Jaguar. That's already into 11-4. Goobinator is now like 15-2. The Goobinator is obviously in decent form because it's won on the flat. Unlike McCain's that have been needing a run, this probably won't need the run. And off a mark of 122, when you consider, chaps, that when this horse ran over hurdles, I think last time, it might not have been last time, I think it was, but it was off 126 and it finished second to Tommy's Oscar when that was off 124 at Musselburgh and was clear of the rest. Now that is serious handicap form. 122 underestimate. He's tricky. He is very tricky. But I think the price makes up for it. And 15-2, I think each way a pleasure, that one, because it's not a type of horse that'll finish out the 3. It's one of them that you're just worried about it on the running, hanging fire and pissing about. But 15-2 makes up for that. So it's a 1 point win at that price, but obviously Betfair SP for the table. So I admit that Jaguar will be popular, and for obvious reasons that I can see that, but I'm just doing that on price. 15-2 for me there is excellent if that's available. John.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. You are here.
Afternoon.
I am indeed. Right, first, you won't be surprised to learn runs at Lingfield in the 1250.
Yeah. You love the jump.
Well, this horse actually did me a favour last time, and there's a kilt trained horse. It's very unusual. I thought this did really well last time, battled back to win. As much as anything, convinced me he had a cracking attitude, something that you might not really be able to say about others in this contest. This is Fred's mate I'm talking about, by the way. The selections, the type to be suited by this extra 2 furlongs, I would think. You can do what you want with him. He's settled as well. Again, I think this is more a default bet because there's ifs, buts, maybes, and that might be about most of his rivals. And I think he's sure to do what he can do, whereas the rest probably won't. So I'm going 1 point win, Fred's mate.
And this is in the 12.50 lead fee. Obviously, no prices. But, John, just what price would you like? I mean, Neverlander sort of.
28 to 1. What's your agreement before we start?
What do you think's value? What's your value?
5 to 2 or bigger.
5 to 2 or bigger. Right, that's fair enough. That gives people a guideline on what to take. Lovely start, John, on the flat as always. All right, we'll swing it back round to me then to kick us off for round 2. I am going with the Bond theme here. One of the best Bond films ever made. Live and Let Die.
Pussy.
Live and Let Die is brilliant.
Live and Let Die.
Jane Seymour, wasn't it?
Jane Seymour, stunning woman in that, and she was the tarot lady, where Bond managed to conner with all the same cards as the lovers.
He did most of them, didn't he? Did he? I can't remember.
Of course he did.
Did he get them?
Oh,
did
yeah.
He?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nat landed.
He did it on the train at the end.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Before then, well, in Kananga's palace. Yeah, he had a double dip. Yeah.
It was the kinky stuff on the train, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Split the bed up and suffocated her for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he got the bloke with a metal hook out the window first.
Quite a controversial episode, that.
There you go, love. Up you go. But, Dr. Kananga is the horse in question.
This is a worry, right? I might have another run. Do you think he might blow up?
Oh, John, that's unbelievable. Yeah. Of course, if you watch Live and Let Die at the end, yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. I love it. So Dr. Kananga's best strapline for me was Bond. He gets Bond in the Fillet of Soul in New Orleans. And he goes, the name's Bond. Kananga goes, names are for tombstones, baby. That's one of my best film lines ever. Anyway, Dr. Kananga, yes. Ben Clark, the underrated Ben Clark, the trainer of Dr. Kananga. He's a very capable handler. And this horse lost his way a little bit last season. It's had the second pallet up, which I think could be key. And the best time is probably to catch this horse fresh. Goes from the front, lovely, bold, jumping front runner. Loves the game if he can breathe. Alan John's an excellent pilot to do that. Haydock suits such tactics, I think, when you get them in a roll on the front end. And given that he started last season off 140 and now he's off 128, he's a double figure price, 12 to 1, generally available. I think this is the time to step in at the prices, given the likes of Famous Bridge has been well backed already into 5 to 2, and a lot went right for him last time when he won, even though I think he's probably got more to come under the excellent Sean Quinlan. So 2 points on the nose, Dr. Kananga, for me to kick us off for round 2. Jonas.
Get your klaxon ready, because I'm going for Goobinator in the 205.
Yes, love it.
As you pointed out quite correctly, he hasn't run over hurdle since March 22.
Yep.
But the latest flat effort off, a mark that relates quite well to the mark that he's on here over hurdle. It hints he retains all his ability, I would say. Ginger's horses are looking like running into form. He's in form. He's won. And I think this is probably a bit of value, blah, 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 pretty much what you said.
Yeah, 15 to 2-ish is good price. Are you on the nose with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 on the nose for the Goobinator. Good stuff. So we'll move quickly on now to Monsieur Norman for his 2-pointer.
Okay. So in the 130, the Tommy Whittle, my one remaining 5 to follow horse that's still got 4 legs, Famous Bridge, is going to be favourite again. He was Bob on it last time. I'm going to oppose him today with Eleanor Bob, who made a lot of the running in that race 4 weeks ago. That was after a long break. I think she's got a lot of potential. She was just starting to go the right way before she got an injury a season or so back. I like the fact that Lucy Turner's on. I think she's all right. She rode Chambard, didn't she, to win round the entry fences last
Yeah,
week
she's
or
good.
the week before.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know whether has she got a full-time job or something. I don't know, but she shouldn't seem to ride that often. But I think she's pretty useful.
She'll be dish licking.
I don't know what that means, but anyway, I'm going to go with Eleanor Bobley. 2 points win.
2 points with yeah. Yeah.
You can see why I don't come on this show anymore, don't you?
Deutsch watching in the cupboard. And I'll leave it there.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Images. 11-2 priced up, but obviously we're Betfair SP. Eleanor Bob, they're opposing the No, not a Klaxon bet race.
Not yet, no.
Of course it's not. No.
Is it? What?
I was hoping we were going to get another Klaxon. We've had one. I want another one.
It's a TV race, so we'll come back to it and discuss it like grown-ups a bit later.
We shall stop turning this into schoolyard humour. It's terrible.
Like grown-ups, you haven't seen the show before.
No, I'm on the wrong pod, aren't I?
Yeah. You should be on like the serious ones, like Jim
Tony
McGrath,
Calvin's one, yeah.
Yeah, Calvin's one. Wait, the serious, the pod for serious punters. Fry finishes off for round 2.
I think I'm going to go to the long walk.
Wow.
And I'm going to go for one of the fat mans. I'm going to go for Red Risk. The reason why is that I think that this is like the UK staying hurdlers are a very weak division.
Yes.
We know that this one will stay. There's stamina in the pedigree. She ran the other one that runs in here, the Gary Moore horse, Botox Her, ran that very close at Weatherby. Obviously, Harry Cobden seems to have some weird arrangement with the Della Hayes. I don't know whether they're swingers or what, but he's obviously got like, it's just weird. Isn't it? Like why does he have to ride their horse? It's just weird, like that he has to ride their horses. There's no. I mean, I thought Bryony was absolutely brilliant last Saturday. I know I was listening to the Sunday sermon as well, obviously, and thought that you guys, and I just think that we know that this horse will handle the trip, will handle the ground. The form is there in the book at the moment, and you can put question marks about every single one of them. Really, I mean, you don't know what version of Champ will turn up. Again, I'm not so sure that is a jockey upgrade on Crambo. Drusher, brilliant, but a bit long in the tooth. Can throw in the old bad one. Goshen Mad, Gal Road, not Daisy Park, brilliant, but getting on. Blue King Doro, I don't think he'll stay. And West Balboa, well, Harry will probably start a million miles an hour and either fall at the last or be falling out the back of the TV. So that's my reading of the race. And I think at the moment I'm just here looking at odds checker and I see the best price is 28 to 1.
You can have 25 two rule books, but obviously Betfair SP. We're all
So I'll have a bit of that.
Are you each way?
I suppose you see, I suppose I should be, but then I'll just get called an each way wanker.
But what do you think? Because you have quite a lot of followers that obviously back your selection. So, are you saying like each way for them? Because you can get 4 places with Hill and Skybet, which would be quite, if they've got them sort of accounts, that'd be good.
Quite handy for the Hill.
Go a point each way. And by the way, I think that's an excellent selection and case, because if you look at the favourite, who I do like a lot, West Balboa, I think she's, with a mare allowance, etc., she's got an obvious chance. Well, if you look at Red Risk, he was second to West Balboa, Kempton in the Lanzarote.
Yeah.
There's not a lot between these.
No, there isn't.
At the prices, like you've said, that could be a very...
And out of the 2 jockeys, I know the one I'd rather have.
Yeah, fair call. Love the price, Fright, and I like the case. Right, Adam Norman, it's time for the max bet round.
Right, I'm not sure you're going to be ready for. Are you ready for this?
Go on.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
It's going to sound like bandwagon jumping here. 205 Haydock, Gubinator.
Yeah! We've got a foghorn! That sounded wrong. That sounded completely wrong.
The first horse I looked at here, it's because I was thinking Jaguar's going to run on Friday, and it was pulled out. So I was looking at it, the race without Jaguar. So let's just sort of ignore Jaguar, and I just thought, I looked at this horse's form over 2 miles, and it's very good. 2.5 miles, it's run 5 times and run poorly on all 5 occasions. It's obviously it's a stayer on the flat between a mile and a half and 2. Stays too well. It doesn't seem to stay on the jumps. The problem is that its jumping isn't brilliant. It's fallen twice, and it's a little bit tricky around here, isn't it? You can clout a few and get out of position. So that is the worry for me. Really, from a pricing perspective, you've got horses like Risk d'Argent, Bubble Dubby, and Bois Gilbert, who they just haven't achieved anything like what Gubernator's achieved. And this was a better horse than this a couple of seasons back. It's proven that it's still got the ability of winning the other day on the soft ground, on the flat. If it's on its game and it can avoid serious mishap, then it really must go well. I think the one thing with Jaguar is that they're probably campaigning it with the Martin Pipe in mind, as if it's the same as the thing.
Yeah.
What was it called, Iroko or something. So they're probably thinking like that, and it's not achieved much, but 119. They obviously think it could be a better horse than that, but it's got it to prove. So let's go with the proven quality of Gubernator.
I'm loving this. A foghorn. We have rare foghorn bets. We did it. We dropped the anchor. Remember, drop the anchor, Fry, when we did it on a shirt.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Me, you, and John all
drop the handbrake.
We have dropped
or release the handbrake in that.
Yeah, that was one of our best foghorns. The old 10-1. That was so good.
That was Leopardstown, wasn't it?
Yeah, please God. Gubernator for us, Norman. The only disappointing thing from my aspect on this is that I'm 1 point, John's 2 points, and Norman's 3 points. So I'm fucked. I win fuck all, like compared to everyone else. So it's terrible.
Nobody gets beat, yeah.
Yeah, I want it beat. Right, there we go. So a lovely foghorn bet from Norms to kick us off for this show. Everyone's going to be raging for this. And Fryon, of course. Fry gets the numbers up by a few hundred every time she's on. Right, I'll pick John now for his 3 points.
I'm still shaking at the anticipation of this foghorn bet.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
It's like on Christmas Eve when you spend 3/4 of the night waiting on Santa coming, and then hopefully not the anticlimax of when he puts his pants on and leaves.
Can't say I've ever had the pleasure.
Well,
so you want me 3 point bet, yeah?
Yeah, you get round to that, of course.
This is at Lingers in the 310.
Yep.
And this one's called A Touch of Silver.
Ah.
I might be wrong about this, but at the end of the day, people get things wrong, don't they? Steve Irwin thought Stingrays loved foreplay.
Fucking hell.
Now, I think this one was teed up for a handicap, but on handicap debut, everything that could go wrong went wrong. She was badly away, poorly placed, and then they did what I call doing a Kempton now, where everybody dropped the anchor, parked the bus halfway around, and the pace eventually picked up, but she was in no position to do anything about it. She was hemmed in, and the race is best written off. This time, I think she's got a nice draw, gives the jockey some option. This is a desperate race. I think I could finish in the first 5. It's much worse than the Kempton race, and yet we can run a £2 lower. I have to be confident of a good effort here. The trainer's got 38% resources running to form at the minute. Everything looks good, I would say. I think we're going to be a reasonable enough price to have an each-way bet. I'll go 1.5 points each.
Denise has priced up early on this.
Good old Denise.
A 12-1 perk at the moment.
That's just about nice. I was thinking 14s, but, that's a never-ender factor.
Lovely selection from John for his best bet. Mine's more boring before we finish the round with Fry's big bet. It goes at Ascot in the 3 o'clock race, and Fry has tipped up the Gavin Cromwell Hasker Claremont with the excellent Connor Walsh in the saddle. But I'm going for Blackjack Magic. I know it's obvious, And I know, to be honest, I expected it to be shorter. I did. 4-1 is available currently at the time of recording. And I thought this would be very popular on the Badger Ales win, because I don't think the rise in the weights outlines the superiority. This horse is a really, really good chaser. 300 through 5 hasn't let the form down, really, has it? Because second to Broadway Boy in that good race at Cheltenham, it's all good. And I think this is, despite being, 8 years old now, it's quite lightly raced over fences. I mean, what we got here, we've got 6 starts over fences. And apart from pulling up behind Autonomous Cloud at your top last March, it's won 3 of its last 4. And I just think it's on the up. It beat a horse called Real Stone of Dan Skelton's that is now rated, 131. I just think this is nothing not to like. It's so solid, and it goes from the front, which is, I think, what you need here. So 4-1, that's where my 3 points is going, as boring as it is tipping a fav for a TV race. Fry finishes off with something more interesting.
Okay, this is a horse which I'm sure, like many others out there, have had their eye on for a handicap, and I'm not sure whether this is the target or whether the Betfair is the target. But tomorrow, the old drunk Popeye runs the mare Lucia in the Betfair Trophy that rounds off the Ascot card. I like this mare, but I think that I think that she needs to, like, she's coming back only about a furlong in trip. That will suit her. I think there's been a couple of occasions she might not have got the best of rides. She's coming into handicap company of a mark of 136. What was it? 138. Won the Betfair hurdle last year. 1-4 something the year before. I'm not sure. I'm just delighted not to see Nico on her. I thought that she ran well enough in the Great Wood. I think it's not a real. It's going to sound ridiculous. It's not a real confident full bet, but I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna have to, because I think she's gonna be. I think she's gonna be more at home. I can see her going up to about 1-4 something, 150 in handicap. So I think I think there's value in her mark. So I will go for it tomorrow.
Lucia at around 9-1 currently, and like
Yeah.
you said, she's got some really good form.
She has.
I had a big negative for her at Cheltenham. I can't reveal my source because it's quite close to connections. She had a lot of trouble going into the Mayor's Novice last March. I know, like, it sounds like a trumpet, like 6-4, but obviously I can't release everything in the public domain. But yeah, so that was the negative for that. So I wonder if she wasn't quite right last spring also.
Probably. I mean, that's happened before. Do you remember? Oh God, I can't even remember the name of the horse, but absolutely stank the place out when a mare of Henderson's ran in a festival race and drifted like a barge and ran appallingly. And I can't think of the horse's name. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I just think handicaps is where it's at, and I just, I don't think he's all right if there's nothing else in the field that can really be, when push comes to shove on this mare. I don't think he's the best pilot for.
Lucia, nice selection, and a very, very useful mare that I think she's definitely better than 136, but obviously it's a very competitive race.
It is. I just think there's a bit of leeway that I could say. I mean, obviously, if she wins wins this, and then she wins the Betfair, which I think they're probably aiming at, local track and all that, like something.
Is that when he's interviewed after the race? Like, because it's 3:35 and he's going to get there about midday, and
he was interviewed last week at Cheltenham, and I wasn't even like the last round. I was watching the screen. I was thinking, "Fucking hell, he's absolutely shit-faced."
I like him.
Like,
Bill Werbenick used to do it.
If they have to speak to him at 3:30, they'll have to do it in fucking Braille.
You could just see him saying, "Well, we've always liked her, and I think we'll take her home. Great day out."
No, it's heavy. It's certainly.
It's heavy. Yeah.
Why you pulled her out, Nikki? It's heavy. It's heavy. Time to say good to soft. No, it's heavy. There we go.
Yeah.
And it's on our title track. Love it. Right, before we come on to the TV round, right, a few Christmas cracker stuff. John, have you've got a Christmas cracker joke?
I'm changing it.
This was done off air.
Brilliant.
Tampax have announced that they'll be removing the string from the tampons and replacing it with tinsel. It's for the Christmas period only. Listen, the groans.
Fry, this is one for you, right? What do you call a dwarf? Right. What do you call a dwarf called Anthony?
This isn't tying into a story I had to tell you.
No. Even though you're like 4'6".
Yeah, and I'm getting a bit
No,
worried.
it's fine. It's just fine.
John called me a sex elf. You're now insinuating I'm a dwarf. Go on, what is it?
Shetland Turner. I'm sorry. That's better than any Christmas cracker joke pulled this Christmas. Absolutely. And obviously, we're not prejudiced on the podcast. We're not picking on smaller people, fat people, or anything. We don't do that.
Everybody gets hammering.
It's true. It's Little Britain time. Right, we're going to move on to the TV round. This is where we look at TV races and hopefully point you in the direction or boost your confidence or lessen your confidence, as the case may be. So there's just the six race card, and we go to the Tommy Whittle to start us off with the 130. Famous Bridge heads the market at 5-2. The Live and Let Die horse is hopefully going to do the business.
I've loved.
Yeah.
Talking of Bond films, one of my favourites is The Man with the Golden Gun.
Tremendous.
Brilliant,
Absolutely. Man. What a film. Any film where a man has three nipples must be watched.
And it's brilliant. But in the book's actually better, because in the book, Monsieur Scaramanga is like the dark side of Bond. It's like...
I think they try to portray him as that in a way, don't they? Like when they get to that island, he admires Bond, doesn't he? Scaramanga. We're two of a kind, he sort of says.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Back to Tommy Whittle. So, Adam, Famous Bridge, Adam. I mean, this is a horse that if he doesn't get it right early and get in a rhythm, the horse could be in trouble, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think he does. I think he does keep a bit for itself. And there's a possibility that he will just keep improving now that the sort of, he's got his track, trip and ground, that he's still sort of unexposed on. Now it's time to start delivering. But he is up £6, and he's reopposed by the second and fourth from 4 weeks ago. Everything went right last time, which was great. He'll need to go right again, As I say, I just think Eleanor Bob was just a bit of value, to be honest, because I think she'll just let him let the mare roll, and hopefully she'll just keep going this time. It's not a 3-horse race, but I don't really fancy anything else. I don't really fancy your thing. I think it's I kind of get what you're saying, but I don't really know what to make of it personally. End card is kind of interesting, but it's very inconsistent. Has won here, but has performed badly here. I don't think it stays the 3 mile 4 that they've tried a couple of times. I'll never ever back a horse trained by W. Greatrex.
No, an idiot.
I mean, this is his highest rated horse now, 140. And I suspect All Roads will lead back to the Topham with that, having dropped 4 or 5 pounds with a couple of shit runs in between. Cooper's Cross, you'd be worried about the ground. Most of his best form's on good ground. Burrows Diamond had a really hard race a fortnight ago, so I think that race here 4 weeks ago will probably be the key to the race. To be honest, and it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out.
Okay, yeah, fair opinion and a fair take on the race from either yourself. Fry, Leng, anything to add to Adams?
I don't fancy anything. I just can't believe how far this what used to be once on the Gold Cup pattern has fallen. It's sad. It's a real sad state of affairs. Like, as a hardcore jumps fan, probably started watching jumps around 80, 81, and this is fucking appalling.
It's gone downhill in the years. Brian Ellison even won it 2 years ago with Sam's Adventure. Yarla Enki in 2016 under Charlie Dutch for Venetia. She was moist that day, John.
You love mentioning the Charlie Venetia stuff, don't you? You fucking love
I love this game, like Johnny Murta. John, thoughts on this?
I think this is a terrible 8,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think it's gagging for a betting running. Because there'll be a few of these you just won't fancy this. I think you can narrow the odds down quite a bit when you have a look at them over the first mile or so.
Well, that's it. That's why Famous Bridge is a bad price, because he's going to be put to sleep, sort of getting...
Yeah.
You don't need to back Famous Bridge pre-play, because, you know, you'd rather even take even a bit shorter if he's in a rhythm and they're going a nice pace, a real good pace.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You need a few things right for Famous Bridge. So I agree. Right, we'll move on quickly. 205 then. We've talked about the Foghorn bet. So me, Adam and John have summed this up succinctly, Fry. Have you anything to add? Because you love a bit of the green and gold. Please, God.
Please, God, I love a bit of the green and gold, but I agree. Look, there's no racing in Ireland tomorrow. It's a very holy day. I agree with Adam's assessment of the
There
race.
we go.
Thank you, please, God.
I like it. So we're all the Goobinator fans for the value. All on the go.
What about where Jaguar's heading? Yeah, I agree. Jaguar, and yeah, there's actually, apart from that, there's nothing in it that I fancy, and so I'm gonna just row in with you lot on the Goobinator.
Yeah,
Please,
massive
God.
Foghorn. Blows a big hole in everything. Right, the 150 at Ascot is where we go. Cap de Matan in the Howden heads the market for Pumpkin, 3-1. I thought this was a very difficult heat, chaps. Any views? Help me out.
Impossible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually.
It's the type of race I really like to get involved in. But you've got three pulled, you've got 4 pulled ups last time. Triple trade seems to be turning up every other week in these big races, and so it's not easy to fault that. But you want to kind of oppose it, you know. Harper's Brook might be the interesting one, but he was so poor last time that you know, he's got a question to answer too, and he is a bit in and out. So, yeah. The only conclusion that you can come to is that it's a race to avoid, isn't it?
I find it really hard because there's nothing ahead of its mark, really. It's not like, we've got this.
No.
Or this, you know. John, Cathryn, anything to add?
It's like Boxing Day when you're looking for a real nice sandwich, isn't it? You know, turkey stuff and pigs in black. It's not a triple, a quadruple decker, and then some fucking idiot's made soup.
Yeah. That's all we're getting there. 2:25 long walk. Fry made the point about the British staying division. It's like help the aged, isn't it? I mean, you've got Champ, Paisley Park, Dashel Drasher, a load of old shite. So so I can understand I can understand the support for West Balboa, because with the mayor's allowance, you just get that bit of leeway. Like if you're not quite on your game, the £7 could be massive against these. But I did particularly love Fry's case on Red Risk. There can't be that much between Red Risk and West Balboa.
I mean, did you see last week at Cheltenham that juvenile race? I mean, what the fuck was Harry Skelton at with that? Like the horse that came down at the last. Like they were both lucky to get up. Like,
is that the nice one of theirs, beginning with K?
Yeah, that's the one. And I'm like, well, genuinely, what are you at? Like, okay, I know that I'll get people going, oh, how many winners have you ridden or whatever? And the answer to that is none. But I just don't know sometimes. Sometimes I'm just scratching my head at him. I really am.
I mean, the biggest one for me was the biggest gasps I've heard from a crowd, I think, was Shamblu at Wetherby in the old the Charlie Hall tanking and Harry's. Yeah, there are better, I would say. Adam, do you want to expand on this?
Yeah, I've got some skin in the game here. Actually, I never, ever, ever have anti-post bets, but I have actually backed West Balboa to win the Stayers Hurdle. I do think there's a bit of a change of the guard type feeling about it. You know, we all know what Paisley and Champ can do, and Dashel obviously, and so the numbers, the ratings lead you to thinking that they're the key players here. But I saw West Balboa at Aintree, and I was very, very, very taken by her, I must say, physically. She's just got the stamp of a very, very, very nice horse, and there's just so much untapped potential. that she could just be, very good. So I just thought at 20s for the stairs, I thought she was worth a few quid. So I'd like to see her do well. I've no real interest in backing either her or Crambo at the odds. Because they're the ones with the biggest potential, and it's in the market. So I can see the angle. The West Yorkshire hurdle form has basically just been ignored. Botox has and Red Risk. I can see that they're overpriced, and it's probably more open than the market suggests. I don't know what the Pumpkins or the horses is like. The French thing, it's asking a lot for a 4-year-old with a £1. I think it's getting £1, isn't it? So for age, it'll be an interesting race to watch. I'm just hoping that West Balboa is as good as I think she is. Because the paddock is a big thing for me, as everyone knows, and I like to think that she's as good as she looks. And she's 7, so it's time. Yeah, it's time for her to deliver. So hopefully tomorrow's the day.
I thought she was a bit of value 5s last week, but obviously around 100 to 30 now, it's more probably realistic to probably her chances. But I wish you well, Adam, in that. John, do you want to contribute on this race?
Why is Gowell Road so much bigger than Crambo, given the last run?
Oh, it's a fair point.
Gowell Road hadn't had a run. Gowell Road hadn't had a run. Crambo had. So you can excuse him for maybe he's doing a bit of a Dr. Kananga after the second last.
Yeah.
22-1 plays straight on. Now, I know it's Twister and he's probably shit, but I think that's a fair sort of price in the context of this, where...
Yeah. Looks like it's stayed that day as well.
Yeah, it does.
And Gavin will ride it like he rides. There'll be no nonsense probably.
You probably get out at half the price if you want. I think it's a fairly sporting talk, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think the drying ground might suit it as well.
Good stuff. Like it. Just before we move on to the next, which is the 3 o'clock, I must shout a funny from last night. Me and the producer, we were sat looking through some old photos. I saw one photo of me, and it's probably my best one, actually. I was sat with the band. Do you remember a band chap called REM?
Yeah.
Yeah, REM. Yeah, and I pointed to the producer and I said, "Look, that's me in the corner."
Hey!
That's fucking terrible.
I've told you I'm here all day, and there's more cracker jokes to come on Sunday. You love it. You just love it.
Going back to that, lads. Sam Twiston Davies has got 2 rides at Haydock, and he's not gone to Ascot to ride Gowell Road. So
that's probably worth noting. Yeah.
That is interesting.
I don't know why he's gone to Haydock. He's got 1 ride on Credo in the Tommy Whittle and a nice mare in the mares race for Sam Thomas. So
he's maybe got a shag lined up at Birkenhead.
I've not thought of that.
Of all the places.
Let's be fair, Cathryn. You're more or less guaranteed at Birkenhead, aren't you?
You get more and more guaranteed in Liverpool, aren't you?
6 Bacardi Breezes as the morning after pill.
I mean, it's so easy to pull at Aintree, isn't it? Whatever your gender, it's very easy to make friends.
There are many
in Liverpool.
There's lots these days. You can identify them. Anyway, 3 o'clock. The Howden Silver Cup. The Blackjack Magic 4-1 that I've tipped. Really boring. Fry's tipped something more interesting with the brilliant Cornerstone Walsh Ascot Claremont. As me and Fry's had our bit on that race, I'd like to go to Norman and John. Norman.
I thought it was really, really, really difficult, Lee. I'll be honest. Good points. You could make good cases for another 3 or 4 of them, I think.
You can. The Witch Horse.
Jamie's horse. Yeah.
The Witch Horse and Deutsch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally.
He just wants to mention fucking Charlie Deutsch again.
Yeah, for God's sake.
He fucking loves it.
There's a reason Charlie's going bald. It's the old Ed board, isn't it? Anyway.
Thing is, right, when I was at Cheltenham last week, he walked past me with his helmet off, and I thought, fucking hell, and started laughing.
Yeah, he's like one of them 1980s footballers, that were 24 and bald.
Yeah.
And, and you thought, well, he looks 45. It were a tough life back then.
He has been inside, though, hasn't he, the poor lad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would he drink driving?
Yeah,
that-
but he didn't. Failure to stop, wasn't it?
yeah,
well,
yeah.
Oh, when you said he'd been
This is it,
inside,
you
I
see.
thought you were on about what they were said.
Good God. Adam thinks it's a very tough race, John. Have you any thoughts on
Funnily
this?
enough, Victorino, I thought this travelled like a really good horse last time. Potentially
Yeah.
a bit better than 142 horse. And I thought Charlie had this under control somewhat going down to the last and kind of made too sure of it. Then the horse ended up with back end nearly caught its front end up as it went over the fence. I don't think the fallers would have overhauled it anyway, and I think there's more to come from this. It's the one in the race that could be all right, and go on from this, I think. And I think 5-1's probably fair.
Okay, very good.
okay.
It was 20 to 1 that day. Yeah. It was probably a bit of a surprise to
Mm.
connections looking at the odds, 20 to 1. It was a bloody good
Yes.
race as well, that last time, wasn't it? I suspect that race does hold something of a key to this. You can see Yeah Man going well. It's not for me. It wasn't a race to bet on. I thought it was double trick.
Agreed. 335, the Betfair Exchange Trophy. Fry likes the old Popeye mare, Lucia.
We thought that we had a right for today, but we weren't
Quite there.
and we wondered.
Yeah,
It's heavy.
it's heavy out there. I like the case because 136. She's definitely better than that. She is.
Yes, she is.
100% better than 136. But you're probably going to have to be in, and you're going to need a good trip in this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. They're all there to do their best. Adam, thought.
I don't know what to make of that mare actually, Lucia. Where's the improvement going to come from? Is it a longer trip or you know what I mean?
I'm not sure that she wants a longer trip, to be honest, young Adam Norman. I thought.
I mean, she looks like a chaser, Nicky.
I thought
Why are you
she
raising
did,
differences?
but then I thought to myself, no.
No, Ascot will really suit her. She's got a lot of speed, The Cheltenham Hill doesn't really suit her.
I don't play to our strengths because it's a bloody long way up.
John.
I don't like the way she keeps getting beaten. I think I know she's been highly tried, but it just looks a bit funny off the snap.
What we're saying about Altabelli and the two market leaders, Iberico Lord. I mean, Iberico Lord did the old Greatwood and pissed up basically.
He's got a very strong hand in this, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and we got our old friend, only a matter of time down the bottom as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 5-1 as we speak. I mean, no one's going to back that up.
No.
But the thing is with that, right? It's only a matter of time, for example, has sort of been an absolute cowbag last twice. Why would anyone punt that pre-play? Impossible. In fact, given its last two antics, how it ran out at Cork, it's ran out at Cheltenham.
In a really bizarre place as well.
Yeah.
Just freaked out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He's got to keep that covered up mid-day until after the last, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only time you can back it. You back it after it's jumped the last, wherever it is in the field. Just back it.
It can't run out left, can it?
No, it could probably go right. But
yeah.
But it'll be. Everyone knows that. I mean, it'll be too. Coming around that final bend, if it's in contention, it'll be way shorter than than you want to back it at.
Yeah, the in-running price will be quite funny because, like you say. So there we go.
I mean, it could literally just go straight on. Coming around that last bend.
Last but not least here, I mean, the Jelly Deal mob, the Brighton Mafia, Hansard. Yeah, Hansard. This horse is like really progressive. There's nothing to not like about this. Second to Rune Board, followed that up with a win at Newbury. Did it quite the Jerry Fielden, no less, which is obviously downgraded since Celtic Chief.
Oh yeah,
won it. But yeah, Hansard. I just
it's strange to see the Gurkha having two strong fancies in the same race.
Well, the Gurkha. I mean, as a sire, he's down to €3,500 now for the net as a fee. So So obviously the Gurkhas houses some temperament there, but obviously they obviously like the twig. You know, Hansard he's a hardy type. Niall Houlihan, I love the £3 he brings to the table.
Absolutely.
So I think the Jelly Deal mob might be sort of like in a shout there and be roaring from the stands for the Noel Feely Racing Club.
What's that character in the Mighty Boosh that goes on about eels? Eels, boy. Do you know what I mean?
I've not seen the Mighty Boosh.
It's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
But he sings a song about jellied eels.
Yeah, jellied eels, the Pie and Liquor gang. They're all
all right, Danny Brighton. All right,
for this, mate. Yeah, I think that sums up the show, really. If not, any other business chaps for the weekend?
I just wanted to mention whilst we're on it that I actually quite fancy one of Mr. Cromwell's on the 27th. At Leopardstown, yes, for the day after the St. Stephen's Day, and it's in the juvenile, and it was called Giselle's Defence. Last seen running at Dundalk. It's in my eye catchers, and I noticed that he's entered up over Christmas for Mr. Cromwell. So just thought I'd tell any listeners, old and new.
Any listeners out there?
Yes, we're into single figures.
It's not
any remaining listeners.
Yeah.
Right, this is a Foghorn and Klaxon. Hang on, this is a brilliant show, chaps. No, listen, Fry's giving us an eye catcher there for the 27th. We've got a Foghorn. We have a Klaxon. No, the Foghorn, the Klaxon's turned into a Foghorn, hasn't it?
Foghorn, yeah.
So we ain't.
And if you're really lucky, and if you send John a direct message, he'll tell you the joke that he told us before we came on air.
DM John for the off-air joke. It was very good. Probably, yeah. It touches the heartstrings.
It's warming and Christmassy, isn't it?
Touches the void.
Yeah, it's close to the burn. But there we go. That's what we are as a show. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we hope you enjoyed Adam's and Cathryn's company like we have. It's been a fabulous show to do. That's all from us. We're back on Sunday. Me, John, Quentin, and Andy Richmond to go through the Boxing Day Fair. That's all from us. Bye for now.